And finally, after all the pushing, all the sacrifice, all the work, all the time, all the effort, and everything you had, and you're in this moment, and you can't even breathe. Why are you looking at me like that? I want to keep pushing.
I know there's an answer to this question somewhere in this.
Well, the answer is everything that I'm saying. Yeah. Because I think you've learned how to push yourself to go over and beyond the temptations of being natural, of being normal. And you can start to exist in this place that's not really human anymore. You could abstain from sex. You could abstain from the foods that you'd otherwise like. You'd abstain from, and now you've pushed and pushed and pushed until I'm ready to push you. Did you push me?
Don't push
you. You probably didn't touch me, but I'm there.
Yeah.
Because it's real to me. This means everything to me.
I see. I got you.
So yeah, you're a little bit high-strung, maybe.
I got you. So you felt that he just pushed you a little too far.
Maybe.
Do you like the press conference at the Olympia, or do you think it's a negative situation where they're just trying to instigate, trouble and arguments between people? Do you think it's productive?
I think there's something to be said for interest. You know what I mean? And I think the sport benefits from interest, and I think the fans can appreciate interest. I think if there's not enough interesting things that are allowed to go on, then technically it becomes boring. So I don't want to say that it's just negative, because I think there's a certain amount of that's necessary in order to remember to keep. Why are you here? I'm here because I want to win.
Right.
And I want to hear the other guy, or at least the fans want to hear the other guy that came to do the same damn thing.
But if Kai Greene was hired to choreograph the press conference, how would you set up the press conference, being the creative being that you are?
You know what? I don't know. I think I'd probably look for cues from the WWE. I think that there's a
Would you script it? Would you script it up and make it like a little more? If this way, at least if you guys were entertaining based on a script, there wouldn't really be any personal feelings hurt, because you'd all know it was kind of like for show.
See, that's one of the things though that I think made Generation Iron 1, and the stuff that Generation Iron tried to do with their approach to Generation Iron 1. I think that's what made it valuable. Because even though there wasn't a script that said, okay, well, hey, Kai Greene, this is the character that you're going to play. You're going to play the guy that does. No, but, I think that the piece becomes good when...
Well, you were the good guy in Generation Iron. That's why Phil says that it ruined his reputation because he was acting out a part that really wasn't who he was.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I think the movie was a success because each man was able to hit their assignment. And the assignment there, believe it or not, isn't handed to you in a script to say, okay, you're reading for the part of the bad guy or you're reading for the part of the good guy. I think what happens is the characters are analyzed and searched for the value, and you can find the conflicts,
right?
Within what each character represents. Now, here, Phil was excellent at being Phil. Nobody can be a better Phil Heath. But because Phil Heath was so effective at being the Phil Heath that he could be, right, and they were so good at capturing it,
right,
the truth is, man, he was amazing, and he helped the assignment become very, very effective altogether. Why am I saying that? In the original Pumping Iron, the bad guy character was shared between Kenny Weller, the writer from New York. There's a writer from New York that he interviewed. How many of y'all seen Pumping Iron? Yeah? Oh wow, everybody. There's a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger's on the beach and he's tanning.
Well, Arnold's kind of the bad guy in there. I mean, if you think about it, he's the cocky champion.
Absolutely. But the burden of playing the bad guy was shared with like 3 parts. Right. You had Ken Weller, who was able to torment and torture Mike Katz.
Right.
You had the reporter from New York that was able to sound and come across as an instigator, when interviewing Arnold, in the period that you heard him on the beach. And then you had Arnold,
right,
in Generation Iron 1, you only had Phil Heath.
Right.
You know? The little back and forth that went on between Branch Warren and
Ben Pekulski is on?
Ben Pekulski really takes a back seat.
Yeah.
Somewhere so far in the back that it's really even hard to see Branch Warren as a bad guy, or even, you know, Ben Pekulski. Technically, they come across as two men that are very committed to their approach to training based in what it was based in. Branch Warren, passion, hard work, you know, Ben Pekulski, science, and a commitment to his own passion, I guess, that, you know. But, you know, the bad guy character at the end of the film, and when anybody was to ask, who was it?
It was Phil.
And because he was so good at it,
people believed it.
Yeah, I mean, all we had to do was say thank you, you know, to each cast member. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's a bad thing going forward. I think it was one of those things that technically made things a lot more interesting, and it gave the audience something to look forward to when they did read the magazine now. You know, now you had a point of reference that if you hadn't been paying attention to it before, you now kind of had a script now to follow along. So if you did see something, oh, I got it. I saw the first issue. I know what happened. Yeah, I saw that episode. That was really good. You got to watch it too.
Well, I know I'm very happy that I got to have Kai Greene sit on my couch here, answer a couple questions. Do any of you guys have any questions for Kai Greene that you might want to ask?
Uh-oh.
Come on up.
Kai, thanks
up?
for giving me mic. Oh, it's such an honor.
Whoa.
I was staying for 5 hours in Vegas on that Olympia day to get to you, through the line to hug you, but I didn't make it. Anyway, I wanted to ask you the following question. Do you have any fears? You are a live human being, so you probably should have some. If you have some, I would like to get an honest answer, and how do you fight them, or how do you challenge them? Thanks.
Fears? Oh yeah, man, that's funny. Do I have fears? Absolutely. Fears. I fear not being able to step into the fullness of the success that I really, really dream to attain. I fear that if I don't do what I'm supposed to do right now at this time in my life, the way that I'm supposed to do it, if I don't make the right decisions, that I will sit somewhere else with a lot of reason for regret. I have fear. One of the biggest things I'm fearful of is not realizing the fuller use of my potential, the fuller reaches of my potential. Very, very fearful of falling short of becoming the thing that I really, really dream to be.
And how do you overcome those fears? I think that was the second part of the question.
Second part of the question, how do you overcome those fears? I think that you have to get up every morning with the intent to actively work towards becoming the success that you dream to be.
Good answer.
Break these things down to smaller, more easily attainable goals, and really start working toward that. One of the fears for me, now that you ask, is once I look at it that way, what if you've actually gotten to a place where the thing that you prayed for, the thing that you one time would have gotten up in the morning for, going to bed late at night for, and dreamed about when you went to sleep while you were sleeping, what if you get to a place where you've outgrown it? And in an effort to be responsible with the things that you need to do in order to fully realize your full potential and the full breadth of what you're supposed to be doing right now, so that you don't die with this unfulfilled potential.
Interesting. Good answer. All right, well, guys, we got to wrap things up. We're running out of time. I just want, before we go, though, who wants to see Kai Greene back on the Olympia stage? Yeah! All right. right, guys. Kai's going to come around here, and hopefully you guys get a couple pictures with him. Thank you for coming, and thank you, Kai.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate the opportunity, brother. Always.
It sucks that we have to go all the way to Dubai to actually sit down on the couch and talk to each other.
But I don't. It happens that way, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to.
Kai, take a jacket off.